Hi, my name is Bear, and let's start with a journey to the Savage Planet. As the newest recruit of Kindred Aerospace, the fourth best interstellar space exploration company, your job is to find out if this planet is suitable for humans. Well, honestly, probably not. Not at all, but you don't know that yet, and yet, here you are. You can play it alone or with a friend. Of course, you probably don't have one, so alone it is. This game may look like it's made for kids, but it's not. It has references of alien drugs and some more adult themes I don't think I can talk about if I want to stay monetized, but people are saying that the game has really great humor, awesome design of animals and plants, and really fun tools to use. Although some of the players are complaining that the game gave them headaches, like real headaches, probably from oversaturated colors and lots of movement, so keep that in mind if you are a bit more sensitive person. A short hike. 99% of positive reviews.
What?
Yeah, I know, it looks like some kind of miracle. Games with such ratings do not exist. You know, like elves, or politicians who don't lie, or elves who don't lie.
Those lying bastards!
So here you can hike and climb through peaceful mountainside landscapes, follow the marked trails, or explore the backcountry as you make your way to the summit. Along the way, meet other hikers and discover hidden treasures. People on Steam are talking that this game is Breath of the Wild crossbred with Animal Crossing, and the only bad thing about this game is that it ends. And it ends really quickly. About 1.5 hours of your life will be made better by this game. A masterpiece, no doubt. Across the Obelisk. A turn-based dungeon crawler roguelike RPG and a member of the deck-building family. You can play it alone or in 4-player co-op mode and prove that your party is led by a tactical genius. And it's you are a very smart and beautiful person. Now, subscribe, this praise isn't free. Anyway, the game is an owner of very positive reviews on Steam. 92% of players are happy with the purchase, so if a deck-building aspect doesn't scare you, it's a no-brainer. Especially if you have a friend with whom or from whom you can conquer these lands. You'll find more than 500 different cards and a procedural generated system that makes this game highly replayable. People on Steam are saying that this is a very fun game, although it might get boring after a while. Age of Wonders Planetfall. Emerge from the cosmic dark age of a fallen galactic empire to build a new future for your people. Here you will build your kingdom with one of 6 unique factions, ranging from the militant vanguard to the dinosaur-riding Amazons, cyborg zombies, and underwater kittens of instant potato salad. Well, maybe not the latter, but I assure you the diversity of units is really nice. Game has a great single-player campaign and random skirmish maps. It is a fun game for you if you are a fan of games like Disciples or Heroes of Might and Magic. Airborne Kingdom. This is a sky city builder where you grow a unique town among the clouds, build housing, satisfy needs, and grow your clan. Maintain lift, balance weight, and be careful not to run low on fuel while you fly it across a wide open landscape which changes with every playthrough. Search for resources, find lost technologies, and discover the fate of the ancients. At the same time, gain allegiance with the ground kingdoms and help them find artifacts, construct monuments, and build trade routes. Your guidance can propel an era of harmony, but knowing you and knowing me, we will probably crash into some thriving city and kill thousands of innocent people instead. Severed Steel. Here you will play as a woman named Steel. You have a prosthetic arm and you use it to navigate the levels, which adds an interesting and unique element to the gameplay. And although Steel has no arm, she's not armless, if you know what I mean. Honestly, here you'll find a huge arsenal of arms, just not arms. The game's physics engine can be a little bit wild at times, which makes for some hilarious moments when enemies get flung around like ragdolls. And with a killer soundtrack that perfectly matches the game's pace, Severed Steel is really fun to play. Whether you are a hardcore FPS fan or just looking for a casual game, I think it's worth your time. It has more than 90% of positive reviews on Steam, and that is always a proof of a good game. Warhammer 40k Gladius Relics of War. That's a long-ass name, I give them that. The game has a very positive review score and 90% discount. That is great, but of course there is a catch. If you like the game, keep in mind that there are about 13 DLCs available. So yeah, that's a trap for your wallet, but it may be a pleasant one. Maybe you like to suffer, I don't judge. Anyway, Warhammer 40,000 Gladius Relics of War brings you a world of terror and violence with a turn-based 4X strategy game. You'll face a challenging AI and cooperate collaborate or compete with friends and strangers across the globe. Play as one of 4 iconic Warhammer factions, each with their own unique playstyle and technology tree. Explore a randomly generated world filled with special features and threatening wildlife that can crush your troops' morale. People on Steam are talking that this is a great strategy game, but as I've mentioned before, many say that without DLCs it feels incomplete. Well, this price is a joke, so you can risk it anyway. Call of Cthulhu. If you love Lovecraftian horror and detective mystery games, this is the title you have to try. The story unfolds in 1924. Here you are sent to look into the tragic death of the Hawkins family on the isolated Darkwater Island, and soon enough you will be pulled into a terrifying world of conspiracies, cultists, and cosmic horrors.
Ooh.
Nothing here is as it seems. Your sanity is all too often replaced by whisperings in the dark. Let's try to listen to those whispers.
Subscribe to Cold Beer. Do it now.
Well, those are words of wisdom. People on Steam are talking that this game has only average glitchy graphics, but the story is great. And another nice thing, at least for me, is that Call of Cthulhu is a short game. It will take only about 8 hours of your boring life. Project Hospital. You'll manage your very own hospital. It's a serious business without any funny diseases or events. Here you'll become an ace doctor, an aspiring architect, and a successful manager all at the same time. I especially like the details of this game. How you put a microscope on the table, how monitors are lit up only when the doctor is using them, and many other similar things. You know how they say, the potato salad is in the details. Also, this game has great educational value. I've seen actual doctors saying that this is a very impressive title. Well, honestly, anyone can introduce themselves as a doctor on the internet, so take this with a grain of salt. For example, I am a doctor as well, but I can cure only one disease, your eternal boredom. For that I have a vaccine of good games in my entertaining lists. And speaking about this game, if you ever wanted to become an outstanding penis doctor, but the life ripped this chance out of your weak, limpy hands, this is your opportunity to at least take a glimpse at this glorious life you will never have. Heroes of Hammerwatch. Almost 90% of positive reviews left by thousands of players is not something every indie game gets. Heroes of Hammerwatch is a roguelite action-adventure where you will encounter endless hordes of enemies, traps, puzzles, secrets, and lots of loot. Levels are procedurally generated, so in theory you will never see the same map again, but we all know that they will look the same for you anyway. So because it is roguelite, your heroes will retain the experience gained from a run and will become more powerful as they level up. People on Steam are saying that the game is probably the best roguelite game ever, but you know, don't trust strangers that easily. Although I did that recently. This game was recommended for you all by my viewer named Anaya, so thank you for the recommendation, this game really rocks. Command & Conquer Red Alert 3. So, speaking about rocks, if somehow you were living under a rock in the bottom of the ocean far away on a distant planet in a parallel universe and avoided Red Alert 3, this is your chance to fill the gap and play one of the best RTS games ever created. Or maybe you have nostalgia and a way more powerful machine than in the year of 2008 when you were playing the game for the first time. So now you can enjoy the game in full glory. Also, you can find tons of mods now that improve the gameplay in one way or another. Red Alert 3 has an awesome campaign, still good-looking graphics, and tons of fun. Curse of the Dead Gods. This game is obviously oriented for the fans of Hades, or as one commentator on Steam said, Curse of the Dead Gods plays as Hades and looks like Darkest Dungeon. Honestly, it's a fair comparison. So in this game you will seek untold riches, eternal life, and divine powers. It will lead you to this accursed temple, a seemingly infinite labyrinth of bottomless pits, deadly traps, and monsters. Well, the rest is self-explanatory. The game also introduces a cool mechanic of unique curses. They influence each attempt, putting a twist on every action. Although keep one thing in mind, you will have to parry a lot, and that Souls-like mechanic sometimes is very annoying. Otherwise, it's a great game. 86% of reviews on Steam are positive. Cities Skylines. This is an amazing city building experience, true successor of SimCity but with all the benefits old school games never had. And here it's entirely up to you if your city has a school, or maybe you decide to grow a city of dimwits. Or, you know, a factory in the middle of Central Park. Why not, if you are not afraid of people's disapproval? But hey, since when mighty rulers are afraid of something? Build a city of prisons, show them who's the boss. You know, a city made only of prisons and their staff. Will anyone dare to misbehave in there?
That
even rhymes.
I know, right? And then you may want to stretch your waste disposal pipes directly to the ocean, make a beach nearby and watch what happens. Or build a utopia where everyone is happy and nice to each other. It's entirely up to you how you decide to deal with this. For example, maybe summon a tornado or an asteroid. That's if you own DLCs for that. This game is littered with them, so be careful. It's a black hole for your wallet. Also, I must warn you that this game is highly addictive and will consume tons of your free time. Make sure you have it. Heavy Rain. Here you'll experience a psychological thriller filled with innumerable twists and turns. Here every choice matters and the endings are many. Here you'll try to solve the mystery and hunt a murderer known as the Origami Killer, named after his personal style of leaving behind folded paper shapes at crime scenes. So here 4 characters, each following their own leads and with their own motives, must take part in a desperate attempt to prevent the killer from claiming his next victim. You need to think fast and act even faster, as every choice and move you make can result in a dramatic, game-changing consequences, and even determine who lives and who dies. Or maybe you are the killer the whole time. It's not a spoiler or something, I haven't played this game so far, but I am really tempted now. I like games like Detroit Become Human, Wolf Among Us and similar story-rich tales, so how this story ends is entirely up to you. 5 Nations. If StarCraft was mockingly called a Warcraft in space, then 5 Nations should be called a Warcraft in space, because it is following the same gameplay formula as Blizzard games, but everything is happening, you know, in space. But don't worry, this is not some grand strategy game or something like a homeworld where the distances are huge and everything is happening super slow. No, in 5 Nations the background is space, but all the action is the same as in old good base builder RTSs. The game gets little attention because it's an indie game and they have no money to make a huge advertising campaigns. I found it just because I was especially looking for games like StarCraft, and it still took me an hour to get to this game. But now it may become a bit more popular because other YouTubers tend to copy my lists. Great thing is that you can play the demo version on Steam absolutely free and check it out with your own eyes. Although it's not easy to see where to download it. Look in the right column above information about languages and you will see the download button. 5 Nations managed to stay true to old school gameplay, voiceovers and even writing style, and that is great. And if you like the Steam Spring Sale video, there is another. Click on it, let's continue our journey, let's be friends with benefits. Thank you for watching, have a nice day and I'll see you next time.
Bye!